Chosen one, the time has arrived, and the message you are about to hear is not by accident. It is not a coincidence that you found your way here at this very moment, because what is unfolding right now is something that will change the course of your life forever. Heaven has intentionally drawn your attention to this message, signaling a divine shift that is already in motion. The window of opportunity is opening wide, and once you step into it, things will not be the same. The urgency you feel within your spirit is real, and it is tied to this very moment. God is calling you, calling all of the chosen ones, to rise and step into the fullness of your divine purpose. What is unfolding is not ordinary. It is an irreversible shift in your life that will catapult you into a season of clarity, alignment, and divine authority. You may have felt the weight of confusion, uncertainty, or hesitation in the past, but all of that is about to change. This moment is not simply a pause in time. It is the beginning of something monumental. The waiting is over. The time for hesitation has passed. God is now calling you to move forward with confidence, with clarity, and with the full understanding that what is unfolding before you is divinely ordained. The divine shift that has been set in motion will no longer be delayed. The path ahead is open for those who recognize the signs and are ready to walk in alignment with God's purpose. This message is not merely informational, it is awakening. God is calling the chosen ones to embrace this new season and to prepare for what is to come. The purpose of this message is to awaken something deep within you. It is a call to rise into the fullness of your identity, to step into the divine authority that has been reserved for you from the very beginning. You were chosen for such a time as this, and now is the time to align with God's plan and step boldly into the next phase of your divine destiny.
Now, let's talk about the law of the jungle and what it means for the chosen ones. In the physical world, the law of the jungle refers to survival, the strongest surviving, while the weak are left behind. It's about overcoming the wild, navigating the unpredictable terrain, and emerging victorious in a world that seems chaotic. But the law of the jungle, when viewed through the lens of the spiritual realm, holds a much deeper, more profound meaning. In the spiritual realm, the law of the jungle is not about physical survival. It is about spiritual triumph. It is about understanding the divine authority that has been bestowed upon you by God, and how that authority allows you to thrive even in the midst of chaos. The world may seem like it's spiraling into confusion and instability, but those who are aligned with God's purpose are positioned to rise above the chaos. They are not bound by the limitations of the world around them. Instead, they are called to walk in divine victory.
The law of the jungle is about understanding that in the spiritual realm, those who are aligned with God's will cannot be shaken by the turbulence of the world. It is not about battling others or fighting for survival, because the chosen ones do not need to fight for their place. Their place has already been secured by God. What they are called to do is step into their purpose with confidence, knowing that the authority they walk in is not their own, but is the authority of the Creator Himself. In the spiritual jungle, it is not about who is the loudest, who has the most power, or who is the most influential. It is about those who recognize the divine authority they carry, those who understand the purpose God has placed on their lives, and those who are willing to step forward and walk in that authority without hesitation. The chosen ones are not called to survive. They are called to thrive, to overcome, and to lead with divine power and clarity.
When you understand the law of the jungle in the spiritual realm, you realize that survival is not the goal. Thriving in God's divine purpose, overcoming the forces of chaos, and stepping into your calling with spiritual authority is the true victory. God has called you to rise above the noise, to walk in divine alignment, and to lead others to clarity, peace, and purpose. The spiritual law of the jungle doesn't favor the strongest. It favors those who are aligned with God's purpose, those who walk in His will, and those who trust that no matter how wild the world around them may become, they are divinely protected and called to triumph. As the world becomes increasingly unstable, the chosen ones will be the ones who stand firm. They are not standing in their own strength. They are standing in the power of the divine. They are not walking in their own authority. They are walking in the authority that comes from the Creator.
And as they walk in this authority, they will witness the unfolding of God's plans in their lives like never before. So, what once felt like survival is now shifting to thriving. You are about to walk into the fullness of God's purpose for your life, and the law of the jungle will not just be a matter of surviving the chaos. It will be about rising above it, walking in divine authority, and becoming a beacon of light and strength for others. The time to step into this purpose is now. The door is opening, and those who are ready to walk in divine alignment with God's plan will rise above the turmoil and emerge victorious. Are you ready to step into the law of the jungle and walk with divine authority? Your moment is now. God has prepared you for this. Step forward in faith and purpose, for the time to thrive is at hand.
For so long, you have walked through life in survival mode, navigating countless challenges and obstacles, doing everything you could to keep moving forward, often unsure of how much longer you could endure. You faced trials that left you questioning your strength, yet through every hardship, you found a way to rise. That has been the process, the preparation that God has been using to shape you into who you are today. What once felt like endless struggle is now transforming into a season of thriving. The transition from surviving to thriving is no small feat. It has been a divine orchestration, a series of unseen moments where God has been refining your spirit, strengthening your faith, and building resilience in you that can withstand any storm. What you thought were delays, setbacks, and detours were actually moments of intense preparation. Through each challenge, God was laying the foundation for something greater. Now, as you step into your divine purpose, you realize that the struggles you faced weren't meant to break you. They were meant to refine you. Your faith has been strengthened, your clarity has been sharpened, your character has been molded, and now you stand ready to step into the fullness of what God has always had in mind for you. You are no longer stuck in the struggles of survival. You are empowered, ready to thrive in the calling that has been placed on your life. This shift is the result of divine preparation, and it is only the beginning. What was once uncertain is now filled with clarity. What was once blurry is now clear, and what once felt impossible now seems inevitable. Your transition from surviving to thriving is not just about enduring life's challenges. It's about walking in the fullness of your divine purpose with the confidence and clarity that comes from God's preparation. This newfound clarity is not just the absence of confusion, but the presence of divine understanding. It's a clarity that comes from knowing you are walking in alignment with God's will for your life. The uncertainty and doubt that once clouded your path have been replaced by a steady confidence, rooted in the knowledge that you are exactly where you need to be. As you step into your purpose, you are not walking alone. God has been preparing every step, every moment for this very season of your life. The struggles you faced, those long, difficult seasons where it seemed like nothing was going right, were never in vain. They were God's tools, shaping your character and preparing you for the moment you're stepping into now. Each obstacle was a test, each trial an opportunity for growth. As you reflect on the past, you may now begin to see the hidden blessings within those hardships. They were the fire that refined you, the storm that sharpened your focus, the pressure that molded you into the person you are today. Without them, you would not be standing on the solid foundation that is now beneath your feet. This is the moment of transition. What once felt like endless struggle is now transforming into a period of purpose and growth. You are no longer defined by the hardships you faced, but by the resilience you've developed through them. You have overcome so much, and now you are ready to thrive in the purpose that God has set before you. You are equipped with wisdom, strength, and clarity that will allow you to move forward with confidence and purpose. This divine preparation has also provided you with the spiritual authority needed to carry out the calling on your life.
No longer are you just trying to survive the battles. You are now walking in authority and power that comes from the Holy Spirit.
The obstacles you faced were not just physical or external, they were spiritual. And in overcoming them, you have gained spiritual strength and authority. You are now stepping into a season of spiritual elevation where you will lead with clarity, wisdom, and purpose, shining as a beacon of God's light in a world that so desperately needs it. With divine alignment comes divine timing. What once seemed delayed or out of reach is now falling into place. Opportunities that once seemed distant are now coming into view. What you have waited for, prayed for, and believed in is now unfolding before your eyes. The doors that were closed are beginning to open, and the paths that once seemed blocked are now cleared. This is not coincidence. This is God's timing at work, bringing everything into alignment for the next phase of your life. As you walk in divine purpose, know that your spiritual journey is not just for your own benefit.
You have been chosen to be a light to others, to lead, to guide, and to show others the way. Your story of survival and transformation will become a beacon of hope for those who are still struggling in the darkness. The challenges you faced were not just to refine you, but to prepare you to lead others through their own struggles. You are now walking in the authority of your testimony, able to speak life into others who feel lost or without hope. This shift from survival to thriving is not just about stepping into your own purpose. It's about fulfilling a larger divine calling. As you begin to thrive in your calling, others will begin to notice. Your life will become a testament to God's faithfulness and power. The light that now shines within you will draw others in, and through you, many will find their way to God's truth and love. God has been with you every step of the way, preparing you for this moment.
You are not walking into an unknown future. You are walking into a future that has been written in the stars. Every trial, every moment of pain, and every struggle was part of the divine plan to shape you into the person you were always meant to be. Now, as you rise and thrive, you do so with the full knowledge that God is guiding you, protecting you, and preparing you to walk in the fullness of your calling. You are not just surviving anymore. You are thriving. You are walking in the clarity, purpose, and divine favor that God has ordained for your life. You are stepping into the next season of your divine calling with confidence, knowing that everything you've been through has been preparing you for this moment. Your purpose is now unfolding before you, and it is time to walk boldly into what God has in store. While the transition from survival to thriving is powerful, it's important to recognize that it hasn't happened by your own strength.
Throughout every trial, challenge, and moment of confusion, God's protection has been actively working behind the scenes. You may not have always seen it, but God has been guarding and guiding you, shielding you from dangers and influences you couldn't even perceive. The archangels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, have been assigned to you. They are not passive beings waiting for instructions. They are active participants in your journey, providing divine protection and guidance. Michael, the warrior angel, has been defending your energy and your path from spiritual attacks. Raphael, the healer, has been restoring your spirit, mind, and body, ensuring that you are not only surviving, but flourishing. Gabriel, the messenger, has been communicating divine guidance, helping you discern your next steps. Uriel, the angel of wisdom, has been opening your eyes to the deeper truths, ensuring you navigate through the fog of confusion with clarity. These archangels are more than just protectors. They are warriors, healers, messengers, and guides. Together, they are ensuring that any attack made against you will be reflected back to its originator. When your enemies intended to destroy you, they unknowingly activated a spiritual protection that now surrounds you, pushing back every force that tried to pull you down. Their attacks have been redirected, and divine justice is at work. What was meant to harm you is now the very mechanism that is elevating you, strengthening you, and positioning you for the divine destiny you are about to step into. God's hand of protection has always been there, but now it's becoming visible. The trials that once seemed overwhelming have been transformed into the very tools that God has used to refine you. The archangels are not only protecting you, but actively preparing you for the purpose you are about to step into.
Their work is both seen and unseen, but rest assured, you are fully covered and guided as you move forward into your divine calling. As you move forward into the fullness of your purpose, it is important to remember that the protection and guidance you are receiving is not passive. The archangels are actively involved in your life, ensuring that no weapon formed against you prospers. They are standing guard, not only protecting you from the attacks of your enemies, but also preparing you for the divine calling that lies ahead. Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel are not merely overseeing your journey. They are actively ensuring that your steps are divinely ordered and that your path is shielded from anything that could derail you. Archangel Michael, the mighty warrior, has been standing at the gates of your destiny, defending your energy and protecting you from unseen forces that seek to hinder your progress.
His sword is drawn against spiritual attacks, and with every move, he strikes down the forces that try to pull you into darkness. You may have felt the weight of spiritual opposition in your life, but know that Michael has been fighting on your behalf, pushing back the forces that wish to bring you down. His protection is fierce and unwavering, ensuring that you can walk boldly in the path that God has set before you. Raphael, the angel of healing, has been working tirelessly to restore your body, mind, and spirit. There were times when the trials you faced left you weary, broken, and drained. But Raphael has been there, ministering to your heart and your soul, healing the wounds that others couldn't see. He has been nurturing you back to wholeness, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. The healing energy he provides has allowed you to rise stronger than before, ready to face the challenges ahead with renewed strength.
Raphael's work is invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel his presence in moments of peace, when everything within you feels restored and aligned. Gabriel, the messenger, has been speaking to your spirit, guiding you with divine insights and clarity. You felt moments of confusion in your journey, wondering which way to go, unsure of the next step. But Gabriel has been there, communicating divine direction in the quietest of moments, allowing you to hear God's voice clearly. When you've asked for guidance, Gabriel has been the vessel through which that wisdom has arrived. He brings clarity, helping you discern the path that lies before you. His voice is gentle but firm, offering the counsel you need to make decisions that align with your divine purpose. Uriel, the angel of wisdom, has been opening your eyes to the deeper truths that have always been there, but may have been hidden in plain sight.
Uriel's light shines brightly, revealing the patterns, signs, and synchronicities that guide you toward the next step in your journey. With Uriel's influence, your understanding has expanded, and the confusion that once clouded your mind is now clearing. Uriel's wisdom is a light that illuminates your path, helping you see the bigger picture and making it easier to walk in alignment with God's plan. Together, these four archangels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, are ensuring that every attack made against you is turned back on its source. They are not only protecting you from harm, but they are using their divine powers to redirect every negative force that tries to come against you. The attacks that were meant to destroy you are now the very catalysts for your elevation. As your enemies attempted to undermine you, they unknowingly set in motion a divine plan that would lead to your greater purpose. Their strategies for destruction are now backfiring, serving only to strengthen you and propel you into the fullness of your destiny. God's protection, which has always been there, is now becoming visible. You can now feel the weight of His presence more tangibly as the divine protection becomes active in your life. The trials and obstacles you once faced are now the very tools that have refined you. You have been shaped through the fire, and the heat you endured has forged you into a person who is now ready to carry out the divine calling that God has placed on your life. This season of divine protection is not just about standing against the forces of darkness, but also about positioning you for the next step in your journey. The archangels are not just defending you from attack, they are actively preparing you for the role you are about to step into. They are aligning the circumstances around you, positioning you in places of influence and opening doors that were once closed. As God's protection continues to surround you,
You are being elevated into your divine purpose. Your steps are being ordered, and the path ahead is being cleared. The Archangel's work in your life is both seen and unseen, but know that you are fully covered. Every area of your life is under divine protection. Your health, your relationships, your finances, and your purpose. God has placed his angels around you to ensure that nothing can derail your destiny. With each passing day, you are being further equipped, further aligned, and further strengthened for what lies ahead. As you continue to move forward in divine alignment, you will notice that the obstacles that once stood in your way are no longer there. The forces that tried to hold you back have been rendered powerless. The battles you fought have not been in vain. They have prepared you for the glorious purpose that is about to unfold.
The Archangel's protection is not just a shield. It is a force that empowers you to walk boldly in your calling, to take authority over every situation, and to step into your destiny with clarity and confidence. Now is the time to rise. The protection that has been surrounding you is not just for your safety, but for your elevation. With the angels' support and God's guidance, you are being positioned for greatness. This is not a time to shrink back or doubt. It is a time to step forward with the confidence that you are fully protected, fully equipped, and fully aligned with God's plan. The path ahead is clear, and as you walk in faith, you will continue to experience divine protection, guidance, and favor, ensuring that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Now, as you stand at the threshold of this new season, you are stepping into your divine authority. This isn't just about stepping into your purpose. It's about stepping into a spiritual elevation that will shift the very atmosphere around you. You are no longer just walking in faith. You are walking in divine authority, backed by the spiritual forces of heaven. The angels have already been activated, and their presence is guiding your every step. What once seemed like a struggle for survival is now transforming into a divine mission, and you are ready to rise with clarity, purpose, and divine protection. The authority that God has placed in you is now activated, and with it comes the spiritual power needed to lead, to influence, and to impact the world around you. This is not a time for hesitation or doubt. It is a time for action. As the chosen one, you are no longer bound by the limitations of the past. You are now walking in divine alignment, and with this alignment comes the power to carry out your mission.
You have been refined, protected, and empowered by God's hand, and now you are ready to step into the fullness of your purpose. The authority you carry isn't yours alone. It is the authority of the Creator himself, guiding your steps and decisions. This season is not about just surviving. It's about thriving in your divine purpose, walking in the authority that has been given to you. With the angelic forces surrounding you and God's protection over your life, you are fully equipped to step into the next phase of your destiny. This is your time. The time for hesitation is over. The time for stepping forward in faith, confidence, and divine power is now. Now, as you begin to walk in this divine authority, you will notice that the world around you is beginning to shift. Your steps, guided by the angels and protected by God's divine hand, will begin to open doors that once seemed shut, and opportunities that once felt distant will suddenly feel within reach.
The things that once felt impossible will now seem achievable. And as you move forward, divine favor will follow you. The authority you carry is not something you need to prove to anyone. It's not about seeking validation or approval from the world. Instead, it's about walking with the confidence that you have been chosen for this purpose. God's power is within you, and his angels are working alongside you, ensuring that no force can stop the momentum that is now building in your life. You no longer have to struggle or fight to prove your worth. Your worth has already been established by God, and with each step you take, you will see that his hand is guiding you towards your divine purpose. As the chosen one, you are now positioned to influence the world around you. Your voice, your actions, and your decisions will carry the weight of divine authority.
Those who have doubted you in the past will soon see the power of God working through you.
The very things that once caused you pain will now become the tools you use to bring transformation.
The trials you endured were never meant to defeat you. They were shaping you into the vessel that God has called you to be. The refining process you've gone through has equipped you to handle the weight of the authority and responsibility that comes with your divine calling. You are not meant to shrink back or retreat. The time for hesitation is over. The time for confidently stepping into your divine calling is now. As you move forward, remember that you are not alone. The angels of heaven are standing beside you, and God's protection is surrounding you at all times. This is the moment when you begin to see the manifestation of the promises God has made to you. The path ahead is clear, and the authority you now walk in is the result of everything you've endured, everything you've learned, and everything you've been prepared for.
Divine favor is not a distant concept. It is something that is actively working in your life. The windows of opportunity that were once closed are now swinging wide open. And as you step through them, you will walk in the fullness of what God has prepared for you. This is not just a moment of survival. It is a moment of thriving, of stepping into the divine mission that you have been prepared for. The power of heaven is behind you, and there is nothing that can stop the divine flow of blessings and opportunities that are headed your way. In this season, you will witness the manifestation of everything that has been planted in the secret place. The seeds you planted in the past, through your prayers, your faith, your actions, are now beginning to bear fruit. This is the season of harvest, and you will begin to see the results of your labor. The challenges that once seemed overwhelming are now being transformed into stepping stones that lead you to greater heights. The obstacles that tried to hold you back will now be the very things that propel you forward. The divine authority you carry is not just for your own benefit. It is meant to impact those around you. As you step into this authority, you will begin to see how your life affects the lives of others. Your presence will bring change, clarity, and direction to those who are lost or confused. The purpose that God has placed within you is not just for you to enjoy, but for you to share with the world. As you walk in this purpose, you will become a beacon of light for others, guiding them towards the divine truth and love that you carry. The journey ahead will not always be easy. There will be moments of resistance, moments when the world tries to pull you back into the shadows. But remember that you are walking in the authority of God. He has equipped you for every challenge, and with every step you take, you will grow stronger, more confident, and more aligned with His purpose.
The angels are with you, guiding you, and ensuring that no weapon formed against you will prosper. The spiritual forces that stand with you are greater than any opposition you may face. Now is the time to embrace the divine power within you. This is the moment you've been waiting for. The moment when everything you've endured, everything you've prayed for, and everything you've worked towards begins to come to fruition. You are walking in the authority of God, and this season of thriving is just the beginning. As you step forward with confidence and clarity, know that you are walking in alignment with God's perfect plan for your life. This is your time. The time for hesitation is over. The time to rise, walk in divine authority, and fulfill your purpose is now. The trials and struggles that the chosen ones have endured were never meant to break them, but rather to prepare them for their divine mission.
Each challenge faced, each trial undergone, served a specific purpose, refining them into the individuals they are now. In this season, what once seemed like overwhelming obstacles are now revealed to be divine training grounds. The law of the jungle is not a law of chaos, but one of spiritual survival and growth. Just as the animals in the wild must navigate their environment to survive and thrive, the chosen ones have had to navigate their personal challenges to step into the fullness of their calling. These trials were not coincidences. They were strategically placed on their path to shape their character, sharpen their spiritual senses, and prepare them for the responsibilities they are about to take on. In the midst of hardship, the chosen ones were unknowingly being refined, learning how to stand firm and trust in God's plan despite adversity. God knew they would face these challenges, and through them, He ensured that they would come out stronger,
more resilient, and more attuned to his will. They have learned not to just survive, but to thrive, even when the world around them is chaotic. The law of the jungle has taught them how to thrive under pressure, to rise with authority, and to walk in alignment with God's calling. The law of the jungle, in its truest sense, teaches the chosen ones that survival isn't simply about enduring the hardships. It's about thriving in the midst of them. It's about understanding that obstacles are not the end, but the beginning of a deeper, more profound journey. The trials, the moments of confusion, the isolation, all of it has been part of the divine shaping process, making them not only resilient, but capable of navigating the path laid out for them with authority. Every moment of adversity was an opportunity for spiritual growth. The chosen ones have been refined through the fire, and in the process, their faith has been tested and solidified. What seemed like a struggle to survive, to simply make it through the day, is now seen as preparation for something far greater. Through the fire of difficulty, they have emerged stronger, purer, and more aligned with God's purpose. Like the strong oak that grows from the smallest acorn, they have been shaped by the trials they've faced, and in the process, they've developed deep roots in God's strength and wisdom. They have learned how to stand firm in their purpose, even when the world is pressing down on them. Through every setback and obstacle, they've cultivated the resilience and strength to face whatever comes next with a new level of grace and wisdom. They are no longer just survivors. They are thriving, walking in the fullness of their calling with the spiritual authority that comes from having walked through the fires of life and emerged victorious. This shift from survival to thriving means that they are now stepping into their true calling with clarity and confidence. The noise of the world may have once drowned out their vision, but now they stand firm, with a clear understanding of their purpose. The confusion that once clouded their mind has been replaced with divine clarity. They no longer doubt their path because they understand that everything they've been through has prepared them for this moment. And this preparation is not just about personal growth. It's about the responsibility they now carry. The divine mission that has been unfolding in their lives is no longer something they can ignore or delay. They are called to step into it with authority, knowing that every obstacle they've faced has equipped them to fulfill this mission. They are no longer the same person they were before. They are strengthened, refined, and ready to walk with confidence and clarity into the future God has designed for them.
In this season, the law of the jungle has shifted for them. What once felt like a battle for survival is now a journey of thriving with divine authority. The challenges that have shaped them have refined their character, deepened their faith, and aligned them with God's will. They are now fully equipped, spiritually and emotionally, to step into their divine calling and embrace the mission set before them. They are no longer waiting to rise. They are rising now, standing in their purpose with strength, clarity, and an unwavering sense of divine authority. The next chapter of their journey is not a continuation of the struggle, but a stepping into the fullness of their divine mission. It is no longer about surviving. It is about walking boldly into the calling they were always meant to carry. The law of the jungle has shaped them into spiritual warriors, ready to face any challenge that comes their way with courage, clarity, and divine strength. They are not just surviving. They are thriving in the fullness of God's plan. Every difficulty, setback, and trial that the chosen ones have encountered served as a form of refining. The pressure of these trials was not intended to crush their spirit, but to form them into the vessels they were always meant to be. Just like metal is forged and strengthened in fire, the chosen ones have been strengthened through the fire of life's challenges. Each trial served as a test of their character, a refining process that shaped them into individuals capable of walking in divine authority. The refining process through pressure has made them more resilient, more patient, and more equipped to face the next season with strength and clarity. They now know how to stand firm in their faith, to trust in God's timing, and to hold on to their integrity, even when the world is pressing down on them. What once seemed like a crushing weight was actually preparing them to carry a greater purpose. These tests were not to break them, but to build in them the spiritual strength and endurance needed to step into the fullness of their calling. They have now learned how to walk with authority, not because of their own strength, but because of the divine strength that has been poured into them through each trial. Through each trial, the chosen ones were taught how to hold their ground in the face of adversity. The weight of the struggles they faced was not meant to defeat them, but to shape them into the powerful individuals they are becoming. The fire of life's difficulties served to purify their spirit, refine their understanding of God's will, and test their resolve. These moments of pressure were not the end of their story, but the critical junctures that forged them into spiritual warriors. They were not alone in these trials. Even when the world seemed dark and unyielding, God's presence was with them, guiding and protecting them.
The strength they gained was not of their own doing. It was a gift from God, nurtured through the trials that tested their faith, patience, and resilience. With each setback, they learned to rely more on God's grace, to trust His guidance, and to lean into His divine strength. The chosen ones now understand that what felt like opposition was, in reality, preparation for their destiny. The refining process they have undergone is leading them to the next phase of their spiritual journey, where they will step into the fullness of their calling with unwavering faith and authority. Every hardship they endured has equipped them with the tools needed to navigate the future with confidence. They now walk with a deeper understanding of their purpose and a greater sense of divine alignment. What once felt like a burden is now seen as the preparation that has shaped them for the great things to come.
Now, as they rise from this refining process, they stand not just as survivors, but as victors, stronger, more resilient, and ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Their journey has made them spiritually strong and capable of stepping into their divine mission. They know their identity now, not just as individuals, but as chosen ones with a divine purpose. The pressure they faced has been transformed into power. What was once a weight that seemed unbearable has now become the foundation for their strength, wisdom, and authority. As they step into the next season, they carry with them the lessons learned through adversity. They are no longer bound by fear, doubt, or insecurity. Instead, they are equipped with the divine strength to walk confidently in the path God has set before them. The trials that once seemed like obstacles are now stepping stones, leading them to their divine destiny.
They have learned to thrive in the face of pressure, to hold on to their faith in times of uncertainty, and to walk with divine authority that was forged in the fire of life's challenges. With each step forward, they will continue to grow in strength, clarity, and purpose. The refining process has not only strengthened their faith, but it has also opened their eyes to the vastness of God's plan for their lives. They are now more aligned with their divine purpose, more attuned to God's will, and more ready to fulfill the calling He has placed upon them. The pressure they endured has transformed them into vessels of divine power, prepared to carry out the work God has planned for them with authority, grace, and unwavering faith. The refining process was not easy, but it was necessary. Through the fire, they have been purified, strengthened, and made ready to step into the fullness of their purpose. Now, they are no longer just surviving.
They are thriving, walking in the divine authority that has been cultivated within them. The trials have prepared them to carry the weight of their calling with grace and confidence. And now, as they step into their divine destiny, they carry the strength and wisdom that only comes from having walked through the fire and emerged victorious. The trials the chosen ones have faced have been aligned with God's perfect timing. Everything they went through, every hardship they endured, was part of a greater plan to prepare them for what lies ahead. And now, as they stand at the threshold of their divine purpose, they are entering a season of elevation, favor, and clarity. This season of refinement was not wasted. Every tear, every moment of doubt, every instance of perseverance has been accounted for. And now, the chosen ones are fully prepared to step into their divine calling. God's timing has been flawless.
What once seemed like delays or setbacks were actually just divine pauses, allowing God to prepare them to handle what is to come. Now that they are fully refined, they are entering into their purpose with favor. Divine favor is being poured out upon them, and opportunities that once seemed distant are now becoming a reality. They are walking into a season of breakthroughs, where everything they've worked toward, everything they've prayed for, and everything they've persevered through is aligning with God's plan. This is their time for elevation. The provision, guidance, and protection they need to walk boldly into their divine calling is now being fully activated. It's time for the chosen ones to step forward and claim what has always been destined for them. As the chosen ones step into this season of elevation, they will experience a profound shift in their lives. What once felt like obstacles and delays will now become opportunities and open doors.
The trials they faced were not in vain, but divinely orchestrated to mold them into individuals capable of carrying the weight of their calling. Every moment of struggle, every tear shed, and every trial faced has been preparing them to handle the abundance and favor that is now being poured into their lives. God's perfect timing has been at work in every detail of their journey. What appeared as setbacks, disappointments, or delays were actually divine pauses, allowing for preparation and alignment. These pauses were necessary to ensure that when the doors finally opened, the chosen ones would be ready. They are now stepping into their purpose with the strength, wisdom, and clarity that only comes from having been through the fire of refining. The season of refinement has shaped them into spiritual warriors who understand the value of patience, perseverance, and faith. They have learned that God's timing is not only perfect, but necessary.
It's in the waiting that they were prepared to handle the weight of the blessings and opportunities that are now unfolding before them. The chosen ones are now positioned to step into their divine calling, fully equipped to take on the responsibilities and impact the lives of others in ways they never thought possible. Divine favor is now being released upon them, and they will begin to see the fruit of their labor. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach are now within their grasp. Their prayers are being answered, and God's provision is being made clear in ways that will astound them. What was once uncertain is now becoming crystal clear, and the clarity they've prayed for is manifesting in their lives. This is a season of breakthroughs, where the chosen ones will see the manifestation of everything they've worked toward and believed for. As they step into this new season, they will walk with boldness and confidence, knowing that God's favor and protection are upon them.
They are no longer walking in the shadows of uncertainty. They are stepping into the light of divine purpose. The provision they need for the journey ahead is already in place, and the guidance of the Holy Spirit is leading them every step of the way. They will be guided to the right opportunities, the right people, and the right places where their divine purpose will be fulfilled. This is not just a season of personal elevation, it is a season of generational impact. The chosen ones are now in a position to leave a lasting legacy, one that will impact not just their own lives, but the lives of others for generations to come. Their elevation is not just for their benefit, it is for the benefit of those around them. They are being positioned to lead, to serve, and to be a light in a world that so desperately needs it. As the chosen ones step forward, they will begin to see the manifestation of their divine purpose.
The vision they've carried in their hearts for so long is now becoming a reality. The plans God has for them are unfolding before their eyes, and they will step into their calling with clarity, confidence, and the authority given to them by God. This is their time to rise, to walk boldly in their purpose, and to claim the blessings that have always been destined for them. The time for hesitation is over. The time for stepping forward in faith is now. The chosen ones are fully equipped to step into the fullness of their divine calling, and they will walk in divine favor, protection, and guidance. The waiting has been worth it, and now they are entering into the season of their breakthrough. They will see the fruits of their labor, and the promises of God will be fulfilled in their lives in ways they never imagined. This is their time to shine.
The moment has arrived for the chosen ones to step into the fullness of their divine purpose, a purpose that has been carefully designed by God since before the foundations of the earth. For so long, you have endured the trials, challenges, and tests that have shaped you into the person you are today. But now, it is time to rise. You are no longer defined by your past struggles, your pain, or the obstacles that you've overcome.
Those experiences have refined you, but they do not define who you are. You are now stepping into your destiny with clarity, authority, and the wisdom gained from each of your trials. This season is different. The waiting is over. The preparation is complete. Now, God's protection and divine favor surround you as you step forward with confidence and strength. Every setback, every moment of doubt, every instance of frustration was all part of the divine orchestration that has brought you to this moment. You are now ready to walk in the fullness of God's plan for your life. As you move forward, the power of alignment with God's will becomes more evident. Every step you take is in perfect alignment with His purpose for you, and that alignment opens doors that were previously closed. Opportunities will flow to you with ease, and the breakthroughs you have been praying for will manifest before your very eyes. What once felt like resistance or delay is now becoming a smooth path forward as the weight of God's favor and protection lifts you higher. In this new season, alignment with God's purpose is paramount. As you continue to walk in His plan, you will experience divine acceleration. The time for hesitation is over. The doors you've been waiting for will open, and as they do, you will step forward with a newfound sense of purpose and determination.
The clarity you've been seeking is now being given to you, and with it comes the authority to walk boldly into the role God has prepared for you. The wisdom you have gained through the trials you faced will serve as a foundation for the leadership you are about to step into. The struggles you once endured were not in vain. They were shaping you for this very moment. Now, as the world continues to shake, you will rise with strength and clarity, becoming a beacon of hope and leadership in a time when the world needs it most. The world around you may be in chaos, but as a chosen one, you will remain unshaken. The noise and confusion will not hinder you. Instead, you will rise above it with divine clarity, walking in the peace and purpose that only comes from alignment with God's will. The challenges that the world faces will be met with your strength, your wisdom, and your ability to lead with grace and authority. You will become a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope in a world that feels uncertain and lost. The authority that God has placed in you will become evident, and those around you will be drawn to the peace and guidance that flows from your life. But your purpose is not just for yourself. You have been called not only to step into your own divine calling, but to serve others, to bring transformation and healing to the world around you. Your life is a reflection of God's love and His divine plan, and as you step forward, you will become a powerful force for good. The light that shines within you will reach others, healing wounds, offering comfort, and guiding them toward the truth of God's love. You will become a vessel of His peace, His wisdom, and His healing, bringing hope to those who are hurting, lost, or broken. With angelic protection and divine favor, you are empowered to carry light and healing to others, just as Christ did.
The world will look to you as a source of hope, and through your actions, they will see the power of God's presence in your life. You are not just walking into your divine purpose for your own benefit, but to be a vessel of transformation for those around you. You have been called to lead with compassion, to serve with humility, and to be a light in the darkness. As you step into this new season, know that you are not alone. The angelic forces that have been with you all along are now standing with you, ensuring that no harm can come your way. God's divine protection is active, and His favor will go before you, clearing the way for your success. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable will now be stepping stones, and every obstacle you face will be an opportunity for growth, expansion, and divine manifestation. This is your moment to rise. You are stepping into the fullness of your divine calling, and as you do, you will see the world around you transform. You are no longer a bystander in your own life. You are an active participant in the divine plan that has been unfolding since the beginning of time. Trust in God's timing, trust in His purpose, and trust in the power that is now available to you. The doors are opening, the opportunities are aligning,
and the world is waiting for you to step into the role you were always meant to play. Your moment has arrived. Walk boldly, walk confidently, and walk with the authority that God has placed in you. The moment of opportunity has arrived, and now is the time for the chosen ones to rise. For so long, you have endured challenges, setbacks, and trials. You've weathered storms, faced difficulties, and even questioned your path. But now, all those struggles have been preparing you for this moment. It is not by accident that you are here, hearing this message. Everything you have gone through has led you to this pivotal point in your journey. The time to hesitate is over.
Now is the time for you to step forward, not just for your own benefit, but for the greater good. The world needs you. You have been chosen for this season, and your life is meant to be a reflection of God's glory, wisdom, and purpose. As you step into the fullness of your calling, you are not only walking into your destiny, but you are stepping into a divine assignment that will bring transformation to the world around you. Your faith, your resilience, and your trust in God's plan will be the foundation on which others can stand. You are being called to lead, to serve, and to be a light in a world that desperately needs it. This is a sacred moment, a moment of activation, of divine empowerment. You have been prepared. You have been refined. Now it is time to step into the role that God has been preparing for you from the beginning. The doors that once seemed closed are now wide open, and the opportunities that once felt distant are now within your reach.
You are no longer walking in darkness, but stepping into the fullness of divine purpose and clarity. It's time to declare your readiness. The moment has come for you to step into your calling with confidence, with faith, and with the full assurance that God's divine favor and protection are surrounding you. Comment 777 as a declaration of your readiness to step forward. Let it be a testament to your faith, your trust in God's plan, and your willingness to move forward into the destiny He has prepared for you. By commenting 777, you are affirming that you are not only ready to step into your divine purpose, but that you are walking in alignment with God's timing, knowing that everything you have gone through has been preparation for this moment. By subscribing, you are choosing to stay connected to the divine insights, guidance, and encouragement that will continue to lead you on your journey.
This channel is a resource to help you stay aligned with God's plan, to receive divine direction, and to remain encouraged as you walk forward into the legacy He has prepared for you. Trust that you are not alone in this process. The angelic forces that have been watching over you are now actively working on your behalf, clearing your path and guiding your every step. God has positioned you for such a time as this, and His protection is surrounding you every step of the way. As you move forward, know that your journey is not just about your personal growth. It is about the legacy you are leaving behind. You are stepping into a divine assignment that will impact others. Your struggles, your triumphs, and your resilience will be a source of inspiration and strength for those around you. You are being called to lead with wisdom, humility, and authority, bringing hope and healing to a world that is crying out for guidance.
The divine protection that has been over your life is not just for you. It is to ensure that you walk boldly into the purpose God has placed before you. The angelic forces that have been assigned to you are not passive observers. They are active participants in your divine mission. They are guiding you, strengthening you, and ensuring that no weapon formed against you will prosper. The trials and challenges you faced have only prepared you to step into this moment of divine empowerment. As you walk forward, remember that you are not alone. You are part of a greater movement. You are part of a divine plan that is unfolding in your life, and you are being used by God to bring transformation to others. Your life is a testimony of His faithfulness, His grace, and His power. As you rise into your divine calling, you will become a source of hope, wisdom, and strength for others.
The impact you will have on the world is immeasurable, and the legacy you leave will continue to ripple out long after you have fulfilled your purpose.
The time for hesitation is over. Step into your divine purpose with confidence, with faith, and with the assurance that you are walking in alignment with God's perfect timing. The season of preparation has ended, and the season of activation is here. This is your moment to rise, to lead, and to fulfill the purpose that has been placed in your heart since before you were born. Remember, you are chosen for this. God has been preparing you for such a time as this, and now is your time to shine. You are walking in divine protection, with angelic forces by your side, and with a legacy that will leave a lasting mark on the world. Embrace this season, knowing that you are not just stepping into your purpose, but into the fullness of what God has ordained for you. This is your time to rise, to thrive, and to fulfill your divine calling.
As you step into this new chapter of your life, remember that the journey ahead is not just about personal success or accomplishment. It's about the impact you will have on the world around you. The legacy you are building is one of transformation, healing, and empowerment. Your divine purpose is intricately tied to the lives of others, and as you walk in alignment with God's will, you will inspire and lead others to find their own path to purpose. God has been molding you for this very moment. The struggles you faced, the times you felt alone, and the seasons of waiting were all part of the divine preparation that has positioned you to walk in your calling. Now that you are stepping into your purpose with clarity, strength, and divine favor, you will begin to see the ripple effect of your actions. What you do in this season will have an eternal impact, touching lives and changing destinies. With every step you take, know that heaven is behind you, guiding you, and supporting you.
The angelic forces that surround you are not just there for protection. They are there to help you fulfill your mission. They are cheering you on as you walk in the authority and power that God has entrusted to you. You are not alone in this journey. You are part of a larger divine plan, and your actions, your words, and your faith will move mountains. As you move forward, trust that the divine opportunities you are stepping into are aligned perfectly with God's will. The doors that were once closed are now opening wide, and the path ahead is clear. Your faith has brought you to this point, and your trust in God's timing and purpose will continue to guide you as you move forward. You are walking into a season of breakthrough, but more than that, you are walking into a season of fulfillment. Every trial you endured, every moment of waiting, and every time you chose faith over fear has brought you to this moment.
Now is your time to rise, to step into your divine calling, and to embrace the fullness of the purpose that has been placed in your heart. This is your time to shine, your time to lead, your time to fulfill your divine mission. Step forward with confidence, knowing that you are walking in alignment with God's perfect plan for your life. Embrace the opportunities that are unfolding before you, and remember that with God's guidance and protection, nothing can stand in your way.